Sci-Fi Fantasy Guild. Deals with a lot of, you could say, fringe interests, comic books, role-playing games, even some video games in some ways, though that's becoming more and more mainstream nowadays. But in a lot of ways, it's a sort of discrimination-free zone where people who are normally already pushed to the sides of the social realm can congregate and then not look down on one another. I would say that we come to feel better about ourselves. People usually feel the most comfortable that they can be whenever they're grouped up together with other people with those same interests. So in a way, it's a clique that can form, but it can be a bunch of smaller cliques forming into a super clique with the eventual intent of absorbing all other cliques until we are a autonomous unit with control over the entire planet.
See a dragon statue, and its eyes are glowing.
Dungeons & Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game. There's a social aspect there where you can interact across the table. And the big thing about Dungeons & Dragons is it becomes almost entirely a exercise for your imagination. We're not necessarily going to say, that's kind of a dumb thing, you should grow up. None of us have grown up yet. Maybe we'll finish that by our 4th year of college, but for right now, we still like to have fun. Jugger, on the other hand, is purely a physical sport. There's no real element of role-playing to it. It's just fun to hit people with foam swords. Now, if you're into something that's just genuinely weird, and weird for us is really weird. LARPing is live-action role-playing. That's weird. For the record, we don't do any of that here. There's such a negative connotation involved with LARPing that beyond just our own shame, I would start to think that would that be the final limit for people starting to think of the guild as a joke.
Every time I go to spin it, you guys out here playing with fucking sticks and foam, okay?
Initially, I know I personally got a little bit defensive, and I saw a few other people starting to get defensive, but we really started to open up to these people, and we let them see the weapons, get a look at them, we let them see a quick match. And the idea is not for us to further ostracize ourselves from other people. This is an extremely fun thing to do. And I think what we really wanted to have happened by the end there was for them to have picked up weapons and just tried running at us for a bit so they could see that, well, this is just kind of fun. Overall, the campus seems to have a very positive view of our group. To date, we have not been given wedgies by any of the sports teams, which is a good thing, I think. And to some degree, we're not even really derided by any of the sororities. So I think we're doing pretty good for ourselves there. You don't necessarily need a large city like Morgantown or Huntington in order to facilitate a social life. Some might argue that this isn't a social life. I would argue against them.